That was until the year 55 BC, when an invasion force, unlike any seen before, landed on the southern coast. The Roman Republic, which would soon become the Roman Empire, was the uncontested superpower of the ancient world, having expanded across the Mediterranean, as well as more recently further northwards into what is now modern France. The Roman general who had led the recent conquest of what was then termed Gaul was none other than Julius Caesar, whose ambitions soon turned to conquering the lands across the English Channel. Caesar's initial invasion achieved little more than landing his army on the coast, and so a second, larger-scale invasion followed the next year in 54 BC. This invasion saw Roman legions advance as far as the northern bank of the River Thames. Despite this relative success, the Romans could not establish a permanent foothold on the island during this time, and so withdrew back across the Channel. The Romans nevertheless remained convinced that the island could and should be conquered, and so almost a century later, the Roman Emperor Claudius ordered that a properly planned and maintained invasion attempt be carried out in the year 43 AD. Over the following decades, Rome's legions advanced across the land and brought almost all of what is now England under Roman rule, founding many settlements like London, Chester, and York in the process. Although Rome's authority was occasionally challenged by localized revolts, such as the one led by Queen Boudicca in 60 AD, England remained an integral part of the Roman Empire for the next several centuries, and had its northernmost border fixed in place with the construction of Hadrian's Wall. Like all empires in history, however, Rome's rise and fall was inevitable, and by the beginning of the 5th century, its power and influence had been significantly reduced. The last Roman legions were withdrawn from England in the year 407 to defend the more valuable parts of the empire on the continent, which were being threatened by numerous migrating barbarian tribes. A handful of these tribes soon turned their attention towards England, which set in motion a series of events that would establish and ultimately shape the very language, culture, and history of the English people.